Welcome to my tutorial on how to make a laser cut map in 3 layers, one for the streets, one for the buildings, and one for the water. This tutorial will guide you through the process of making a 3D map from every city in the world. We'll talk about the software, the design, the progress, and the possible finishes. So without further ado, let's get to it. Step 1. The software. If you want to upgrade your laser business to the next level, it is very important to have the right software at hand. First of all, for a lot of designs you'll need Adobe Illustrator, which you can purchase on the official Adobe website. There are ways to get this software for free, but I don't recommend doing so. The link to the Adobe website will be in the description. There is a free software called Inkscape that can do a lot of the same features, but I haven't tried making a map with it. I will also put the link for that software in the description. Now for the map software, we will use a program called QGIS. This software is free and can be found on the official website. I will also put this link in the description. For the laser cutting itself, I prefer Lightburn. This software is amazing and compatible with different kinds of lasers. The link will also be in the description. This is all the software you need to create a beautiful 3D map. Feel free to pause and replay the video as much as needed. Now let's get to it. Step 2. The design. Open up the QGIS software. In the menu bar on top, click on Plugins, then go to Manage and Install Plugins. As you can see, I have a lot already installed. When you click at the All tab on the left, you can search for the plugins required for our map. You can download a lot of other useful plugins, but for now we just need Map Library, Open Layers plugin, Quick Map Services, and Quick OSM. You can click at the right bottom to install the wanted plugin. For the plugins to work, you have to restart QGIS. Once we got our plugins installed, we have to find our base map in the browser on the left, underneath the tab XYZ tiles. Then we click the OpenStreetMap tab. On the right, a map will appear. Now we're going to search for the city that we want to create as a 3D map. I usually search the city first in Google Maps, so I know where to look. Once we have found the city of choice, we have to center the map into the frame. When the map is centered, we can click the green Quick OSM magnifying glass in the menu bar on top. This is where the magic happens. In this menu, we're going to enter a value into the key area. The first key we're going to use is a highway. If you want a specific kind of way, you can search through the Valued tab and select the ones you require for your map. For our map, we need all roads, so we leave that empty. We're going to change the In tab into Canvas Extent. Then run the query. Now we have a lot of lines, dots, and other shapes on top of our base map. We only need the lines, so we can delete the other shapes. Now we do the same thing with 2 other keys. One with the value O waterway, and one with the value buildings. And again, we'll delete all layers we won't need. Now we have our data, we can delete our base map and export our file. We do this by going to Project, Import, Export. And select Export Map to PDF. Change the width as wanted. For our map it would be 750 pixels. Then save the map onto your computer. We are done in QGIS. Now open up Illustrator. Open up the map in Illustrator. In the menu bar on top, go to File, Open, and select the map you just created in QGIS. If the map isn't centered, you can go back to the previous step and center it again. Once you've opened the map, we can go to the Layer menu on the right. If the menu isn't visible, click on Window in the top menu and be sure the Layers menu is enabled. Now we are going to create extra layers. We can do this by clicking on the new layer icon on the bottom of the menu on the right. We'll rename these layers by double-clicking. We're going to rename 3 layers into roads, buildings, and waterways. A fourth one we'll call rectangle. Now in the left Tools menu, we select the Rectangle tool. Make sure the rectangle layer is selected. At the top we make sure that the rectangle has no fill-in color. We just want the shape. Draw the rectangle from the left upper corner to the right at the bottom. Make sure all the wanted streets are inside. If you aren't happy with your first try, press Ctrl and Z on your keyboard and try again until you are happy with the result. Then click and drag the rectangle layer to the new layer icon. Do this one more time and place them above each layer. Now with all our layers ready, we can sort our initial map. We click on the map layer. In the menu on the left, take the Direct Selection tool and click on any road on the map. Then go to Select, Same, Fill and Stroke. As you can see, all the roads are selected. Next to the layer selected, there is now a little square. Grab and drag the little square up to the roads layer. Then click Select, Deselect. Our roads are now on the roads layer. You can click on the eye icon on the left of our road layer. Now, we need to do the same for the waterways layer. With the buildings layer it is a little bit different because we have a fill and stroke. We only need one. Select only the lines of the buildings and do the same as with the other 2 layers. Select, Same, Fill and Stroke and drag the selection to the buildings layer. When everything's sorted we won't be using the initial map anymore, so you can delete it by dragging the map on the little container at the bottom right. Now click the eye icon next to the roads layer. Also click the eye icons of the 2 upper rectangle layers. Now we can click on the little circle next to the roads layer. Hold Shift on your keyboard while clicking on the rectangle layer so you have both selected. On the top left of the screen we are going to adjust the fill to none, and the stroke to as thick as you want the streets to be. In our case it will be 6. Make sure you have both layers selected. With still both layers selected, we're going to Window on the top menu. Then we click Path Finder. Now we go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. Now within the Path Finder we click Unite. For the next step, we are going to change the fill and stroke again. Fill to nothing. Stroke to 1. Click the background somewhere to deselect. We take the Direct Selection tool again from the left Tools menu. And select the outside rectangle and everything outside the rectangle arsewell. Click and drag the unwanted area to select and press Delete on your keyboard. Do so on all 4 sides. Delete the roads layer and rename the rectangle layer to roads. Click on the eye icon next to the roads layer. Next on are the buildings. Click on the eye icon next to the buildings layer as well as the rectangle copy layer. Click on the circle next to the buildings layer. Change the fill to black and the stroke to nothing. Select both layers by clicking and shift-clicking both little circles on the right side of the layers. Now click right on the map and select Make Clipping Mask. Now click on the drop-down arrow on the buildings layer. Open up the clip group as well. Now very important, you drag the clip path above the clip group. Now select the circle from the path first, then shift-click the group underneath. Now in our Pathfinder, click Crop. Click next to the map again to deselect. Now refold the layer and rename it to Buildings, delete the old one. 2 down, 1 more to go. For our last layer, we are going to click the eye icon on buildings as well as the waterways and rectangle copy 2 layers. Select all the waterways by clicking the circle on the layer. Change the stroke size to 9. On the top menu go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. Now on the Pathfinder click Unite. Rearrange the fill to nothing and the stroke to 1. Both select the waterways layer as the rectangle layer. In the Pathfinder click Divide. Now delete all the parts we don't need, including every line in between the waterways. Almost ready in Illustrator. Rename the waterways layer and delete the old one. Now it is time to give some colors to the layers by double-clicking the color square on the left tool menu. Water gets a blue stroke, buildings an orange fill. And the roads stay black. Make sure all 3 layers are visible. Now we can save our file. Go to File, Save As, and save it as an SVG file. Now we can open up the Lightburn software. Now import our map into Lightburn by clicking File, Import, and select the SVG file. Scale up the map by clicking on the corner of the map and pull it up. Now as you can see, I forgot a few shapes in our previous step. No need to go back, we can fix this in Lightburn. First at the top right, disable the output, show and air layers we won't need. Right-click the map and select Ungroup. Delete the shapes and regroup by clicking right and select Group. Now enable the other layers again at the right top corner. We can draw a rectangle by clicking on the rectangle tool at the left menu. Draw it to the shape you want. For this design we are going to make this a bit bigger at the bottom. Now in the Tools menu take the arrow again. Now we select all layers and press on the horizontal alignment icon. Now we only got our name from our map to write down at the bottom. Select the text icon at the Tools menu on the left. Select the font you want, the size you want, and start writing the name. In our case it is Michelin. You can center the name by clicking on the name and rectangle. Now click the Align icon again. Time to make our file ready for lasering. I, myself, use a 80-watt CO2 laser and my settings are conform. Make sure you use the settings you use for your own laser. Now, let's sort our layers. Let's start to make our frame reusable. We're going to make it dark blue. At the right top corner, we are going to rename it to the frame. Make sure the mode is set to line. To change the speed and power you need to double tapping the speed power. Change the speed to 18 and the minimum power to 80. Now click OK. For our first layer, make sure the city name and the roads are the same color. Change the speed to 18 and the minimum power to 80 and click OK. Click the sliders output and show for our roads layer. Now pick a color and do the same for our water layer. For the buildings I prefer brown. Change the layer's position by clicking the arrow on the right. Change the power to 35 and the speed to 350. Now for the last step, we'll resize the map as wanted. Make sure at the right top corner everything is visible. If you want your brand name on the back of the map, you can import a logo or just write it in any font you want. Make sure you make a new filler layer for the logo. Now select everything. Replace it to wherever you want. At the top left, make sure the size lock is enabled. Now resize the map to whatever size you want it to be. As my laser is 40 by 40 centimeters, I'll change the width to 390. Click next to the map to deselect. Let's rearrange our layers at the top right. The frame layer should always be at the bottom. Make sure the air is enabled in every layer. For our first cut, we need the roads and the frame layer, so disable the output and show on the other layers. Make sure your laser is connected and press start. Next up, buildings and waterways. Leave the frame. Press start. The final layer will be the logo and the frame. Press start. Now let's talk wood. For the background layer, I prefer the stronger birch. Put the logo side down and paint the other side blue. For the buildings layer, we use the hard redwood for the contrast. For the roads layer, we use the very light poplar. Now glue all the layers together with a glue for wood. Remember, less is more. Clamp the layers together or put a weight on top. Be careful that you don't damage the road layer. I usually wait till the next day to unclamp the map. Now sand the front and back really gentle with some 240 sandpaper. Take your time and be gentle. The roads are very delicate. If you want, you can sand the sides down as well. Now we are done with our self-made road map. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more amazing designs.